Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Joker with spoilers. Okay, this is one of my most anticipated movies. I was looking forward to this after I saw the first trailer, and I knew this movie was coming out. If you want to see a spoiler-free review, I have that in this channel. All you got to do is look at uh, my videos through my videos. I recorded it just before this one, so it's up. And obviously, this review is going to have spoilers in it. Anyway, this movie, of course, is about a character named Arthur Fleck, and this movie stars Joaquin Phoenix. Robert De Niro's in it, Zazie Beetz. This movie is written and directed by Todd Phillips, who's basically mostly known for the Hangover movies, but this is, I think, his first serious drama. But anyway, this is the story about Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix, and it's basically, his character named Arthur Fleck he's like this put upon guy who's lives with his mother, a sickly mother, old elderly mother, and he's trying to work as a comedian, clown slash entertainer, and trying to put on this happy face. But we see from the very beginning of the movie when he's visiting his therapist, and we get that great scene that we see in the second trailer when he tells her that she just doesn't listen, and he's taking medication, and trying to hang on, but Gotham is basically unraveling. At the same time he's going through this, and we see basically his downward spiral, and it's a joy to behold. Joaquin Phoenix is absolutely fantastic as this Arthur Fleck character, the guy that's just barely hanging on and basically gets pushed into madness, or descends further into madness. Okay, Gotham literally swallows him up, and he just descends into madness. And this is a fantastic movie to watch, and it's riveting, and you can't keep your eyes off of it. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I think Todd Phillips did a fantastic job with the writing and the direction of this movie, and it's absolutely fantastic to watch. A couple of great things in this movie. First, we find out, Joaquin Phoenix's character, Arthur Fleck, is, like I said, the stand-up comedian. He's trying to, entertain his mother. Always tell him to smile and put on a happy face. But like I said, he gets through these series of incidents. Like getting attacked on the train, like we see in the trailer, getting his sign stolen from him. Again, another scene that we see in the trailer. All these things that get put upon him and just makes him further descend into madness. He's seeing a therapist, and she tells him, "Listen, they cut the funding for this, so I can't see you anymore." And where he's going to get his medication? His medication's running out. It's just one more thing after another. He has a neighbor, Zazie Beetz, that he kind of meets sort of cute in the elevator, and we think they're in a relationship, but later on we find out that actually this is just another delusion from him, and it's probably because he's not taking his medication and because he's running out of it. And this is literally a delusion that he's in a relationship with her. And it really is just absolutely just a series of things that are fantastic. And some of my favorite scenes, I'll start, and oh yeah, let me back up a bit. Uh, Brett Collin, who plays Thomas Wayne in this movie, who we've known from past movies and stuff and comic books and stuff. His character, of course, it gets murdered, and him and his wife. But Thomas Wayne, according to past lore, is supposed to be this benevolent figure. In this movie, his character, okay, his character is pretty much an asshole. Let's put it that way. His character is pretty much an asshole, and who may or may not be uh, the father of Arthur Fleck. Okay, because his mother is obsessed with Thomas Wayne, and she apparently worked for him years ago, and she's writing him letters, and she's always telling her son to check the mailbox because she thinks that he's gonna help them out of their situation. And later, Arthur he finds out that his mother apparently he thinks she had a relationship, uh, and they kind of make it at first that that she's a little off, and that she doesn't really have this relationship with him. And but then he finds the photo and stuff, and other things happen, and he actually finds the letter that she wrote to him, and he reads it where she basically says our child, and he thinks, of course, that Thomas Wayne is his father, and he actually goes to confront him, and he actually there's a great scene that between them in the bathroom. With this benefit, he sneaks in there, and he actually confronts Thomas Wayne and tells him, "Listen, I'm Arthur Fleck. I think I'm your son," and where he basically tells him, "No, you're not my son. You were adopted by your mother, and your mother's crazy." And so you think, okay, maybe this guy is, he's nuts, but he just basically pleads with me. He said, "Listen, I don't want your money. I just maybe want a hug." Just you can see he's slowly unraveling, and he's just like reaching for a human connection, and it's just because that I'm sorry, but let me back up a bit. There was a scene before that where he actually, after reading the letter, he goes to the Wayne estate where he actually sees young Bruce. That the scene you see in the trailer briefly, and he actually, kind of, trying to do tricks for him and confronted by Alfred, who tells him, to back off, and he tries to tell him, listen, I just want to see Bruce Wayne, not Bruce Wayne, excuse me, Thomas Wayne, and tell him I think I might be his son, and Alfred character kind of blows him off and say your mother's nuts and all this stuff, and then he get the other scene later where he confronts Thomas Wayne in the bathroom, and Thomas Wayne tells him, listen, your mother's nuts, and you were adopted. I'm not your father, okay? And that's when he again, and his character, they kind of established it early in the movie that he has this condition which causes him to laugh uncontrollably, and he carries around this card even that tells people that, but it just looks awkward when he does that, and he does it several times throughout the movie, and he starts doing this again in the bathroom in front of Thomas Wayne, and Thomas Wayne basically punches him right in the mouth, well, right in the mouth, right in the nose, okay, and then we later kind of find out that maybe Thomas Wayne is lying, that maybe he did have an affair, because there's a picture, I think, and he signs it with some loving, like, I love your smile, I love your smile, to Arthur's mother. So you think maybe he did have an affair with her, and then he just kind of blew her off, okay? And so Thomas Wayne's character is an asshole in this movie, but like I said, he's slowly but surely, Arthur Fleck, he starts seeing, once this clown, once he kills, there's an incident in the early part of the movie where after he gets mugged by these little kids and they take his son and beat him up, one of his clown friends gives him a gun to protect himself, kind of forces us on him, and he takes it. And later when he's on the train and these three Wall Street guys are kind of working for Thomas Wayne, they kind of, they're bothering a lady on the train. Then Arthur starts having these uncontrollable fits of laughter, and they confront him and they start beating him up, and he literally does a Bernie Getz and starts blowing away and murders those three, which literally starts his descent into then he gets fired from his job because he's carrying the gun with him while he's entertaining kids in a hospital, and the gun falls out in front of all the kids and the staff, and then just like one indignity upon the other, and it's just to see his descent into madness is a beautiful thing to behold. Joaquin Phoenix is breathtaking, and then he, like I said, his mother gets sick. He's in the hospital watching, and then you see that scene that you see in the trailer where he's, where Robert De Niro's character is playing a video of Arthur's performance and the stand-up, which is, really, not that good, but he's making fun of it. And again, just one more thing after another that just keeps pushing him further into, into crazy town, and it's a joy to behold. Again, the story is multi-layered, it's explosive, and oh my God, there's a scene which really just he's in his apartment getting ready for his appearance, because apparently even when he played Robert De Niro's character Murray, what's his name, Murray, he's a comedian, Murray Franklin, he hosted like Tonight shows. Even though he played that video with kind of making fun of Arthur stand up and stuff, the people loved it, and so he decides to have him on. So he has his people call him to have him show up on the show, and while he's in his apartment, getting ready for the show, the comedian who gave him the gun and another little short kind of comedian that I guess is, or maybe it's like a guy that worked there that was always nice to him at the club. They're in his apartment talking to him, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Arthur just snaps and just brutally murders this comedian who gave him the gun. Just brutally murders him. It's shocking. Again, something that you can't take your eyes off it. Again, you have those moments in this movie where you have these moments where it's just riveting and you can't take your eyes off it. It's just, and that was one of those moments, because we also, you see this little person who's there, who's obviously, shell shocked by watching this guy get murdered in front of him by this guy who he was nice to, and he's totally freaking out. And Arthur is just saying, it's okay, You were nice to me. I'm not going to kill you. He said, you can go. And the scene is funny. This is because of what happens and the way he just handles it, Joaquin Phoenix, and then the little guy tries to leave, but of course the top latch is on, so you get a moment in there where you think, oh, he is going to kill the little guy, but he actually comes over and kisses the little guy on top of his head and unlatches the door to let him leave. And again, just a crazy, insane moment, and just a lot of those in this movie. Again, you have that scene that you see in the trailer on the train where the cops are after him, to question him more, and they start chasing him onto the subway, and there's this insane amount of, because he basically starts a movement, because after he kills those three Wall Street guys on the train, Gotham, the people start dressing up like clowns and stuff and start protesting the rich, basically going against the rich. Because Gotham is going to hell, so they're and so I think Thomas Wayne also says in one of these press conferences that that people, these people that are causing lawlessness are a bunch of clowns. So the people literally start adopting, start wearing clown stuff and clown makeup and stuff. And you see when the cops are chasing Arthur onto the train, and and Arthur just basically, those cops get swallowed up by all the clowns on the train, and it's a near riot and just insanity. Okay, but this movie is, oh my God, this movie is fantastic. And there's the scene towards the end of the movie where he actually goes on Murray Franklin's show, and he actually confesses. Now, you think, now, because of what he wrote something in his book, that you think that he's going to kill himself on the show. And that's what I thought at first, that he was going to kill himself when he goes on Murray Franklin's show and he tells him, like you see in the trailer, can you introduce me as Joker? And he comes out and he tells a few bad jokes and stuff. And then he actually confesses to killing the three, Wall Street guys on the train. And Robert De Niro's character, Murray Franklin, they start exchanging dialogue, but Joaquin Phoenix is telling them, listen, nobody cares about me. Nobody cared about me. This city is going to hell, but nobody cares. You care about the rich and entitled, but you don't care about the regular, normal guy who's just struggling. And he just, he's doing a good back and forth, and then until he literally snaps, and then I said, oh, he is going to kill Murray Frank. And then just like in The Dark Knight Returns, the comic book, he pulls out a gun and blows him away and blows Robert De Niro away, right? Of course, so everybody starts panicking and stuff. And then he shoots him a bunch of more times. And then there's the great scene where you see him go off. He's been arrested and he's getting driven through the town, and the town is descending to madness. There's like near riots and stuff, and somebody crashes a car, not a car, a ambulance into the police car, of course, and then they take Arthur out. The clowns who they see him and they take him out, and they kind of stand him up, and he gets on top of a car and starts doing his little dance, and he takes because he has a little blood because he was in in the accident there, and he kind of smears his blood into like a clown makeup, and you see all the people, all the clowns around him, cheering him on, cheering him on, cheering him on. And then there's a quick scene of Thomas Wayne. You see him coming out, Thomas Wayne and his wife and Bruce coming out to see Zorro, and you see them go, they see the riot and they go down an alley, of course that fateful alley, and then we see one of the clown figures follow after, and then we get that iconic scene of Bruce's parents getting killed literally in front of him. Okay, so in a way, in this movie, the Joker directly created Batman, or will create Batman to be. Okay, and then we see the final scene, which is memorable. You see him in the side, in the insane asylum, and he's smoking and he's laughing and stuff, and the psychiatrist, she's trying to find out what's so funny and how can I help you, and he's just laughing and laughing, and then we cut to the next scene where you see him. Now this insane asylum is like all white, and then you see him start walking out, and then you see his footprints, his red bloody footprints, so he killed the therapist. And you see him walking towards the end of the hallway, and then you see him make a turn, and then you see him run back, and then you see the orderlies chasing after him one way, then chasing after him another way. And this movie is absolutely riveting, just absolutely fantastic. Again, Joaquin Phoenix should be nominated for Best Actor, and definitely Todd Phillips for Best Picture and Best Director. This movie, and probably Best Screenplay. because I think he co-wrote this. This is absolutely a fantastic take on the Joker character, and like I said, you feel sympathy for the Joker up until, to me at least, until that last part when he killed the innocent psychiatrist. But I guess in that way, I think he becomes literally the Joker, literally. when he kills this, he randomly kills the psychiatrist just for no reason. Although I don't, you could say, although like I said, I could see, I had a feeling that he was going to do something to the comedian who sold him the gun, because he got fired after that. And I could say he's going to get some kind of revenge. I didn't think he would, the sudden way he killed him, but I thought he would get some kind of revenge against him. Sure enough, when that guy showed back up with that other little person, and he just ran, and the way it was just so sudden, the way he just snapped and just started killing him, and just that was brutal to watch. And like I said, I think I mentioned this before, but Zazie Beetz, who played his neighbor, you think they're in a relationship in the beginning of it, because they meet kind of cute in the elevator, and then you see them have a bunch of other interactions and stuff, and even that scene you see in the part where in the trailer where he knocks on her door and then just starts kissing her, and then he goes out on dates with her. When his mother gets sick, she visits him in the hospital. So you think, okay, he's having this relationship with her, but then you see after a particularly bad day, he goes home to her apartment, and he literally sits down, and then you hear her putting her daughter to sleep, and she comes out and sees him, and she's frightened that he's in her apartment, and then you realize that all that relationship that we saw is just in his head, that's just setting into madness, and probably because of all the things that's happened to him, and because he's not taking his medicine anymore because he's running out, because there's even seen him pulling out all the pills, and we know the program got cut, so he has nowhere to get medication. So that was a truly frightening scene, and this movie is easily one of the best of the year. I absolutely love this movie. Again, Joaquin Phoenix, fantastic performance, just great direction, great write. I think this definitely should probably get nominated for Film of the Year, although he'll probably get nominated for Best Picture, definitely, I think. And definitely Joaquin Phoenix for Best Actor, and Todd Phillips for Best Director and Best Screenplay, I think. Definitely, this is, again, one of the best movies I've seen this year. Definitely, I think the best movie I've seen this year. I'm thinking about all the other movies I've seen, but I think this is the best movie that I've seen all year, and I definitely highly recommend it. Again, a 9 out of 10 for me. Go see this movie. You won't be disappointed. Anyway, let me know what you think of Joker. If you've seen it, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, called Views and Opinions, so you check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.